Hey, welcome to True. I'm your host, Miles Grant. Hope you are well. Welcome to True, which is a very exciting 21-day self-coaching journey live in January 2022. We've got a lot we're going to be covering over the next 3 weeks. We're going to be looking at really every single aspect of our lives together. And one of the key things that I think you'll find really powerful about this process is, unlike I'm a big advocate for personal development. I read books, I listen to audiobooks, I read podcasts, I watch YouTube videos. But one of the things I think at the moment that we have an abundance of is information. I think there is an abundance of information. I think if you want an answer to something, it's very easy to find it on Google or find it via one of the social media platforms. But I think that the thing that the world is really missing out on right now is space. I think the thing that a lot of people are really looking for right now is not actually answers. What they're looking for is space. Space to think, space to reflect, space to reevaluate their lives. You know, that the pandemic was a period of what a lot of people felt like life was on pause. And I think if you're anything like me, you started to question and you started to think about, if this thing is here forever, how is my life going to be moving forward? And for me, during the pandemic, I started to really question. Now, being a coach, it is our job to question. It's our remit to ask people questions. But what I see in today's day and age as a real problem is that there's an abundance of answers, an abundance of people wanting to tell you what you should do. And I think that's really powerful, because if you don't know what you want, getting a mentor, finding someone to tell you what you should do is really powerful. But the problem with external advice, the problem with answers on the outside, is if you haven't first got really crystal clear on what's important to you on the inside, you can find yourself going down a road that you really don't want to go. You know, one of my earliest personal development mentors, Tony Robbins, says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And what that really means is succeeding in life, you know, great body, great financial situation, or nice car, nice house, all that kind of stuff. You only have to, if you don't have that already, you only have to drive a few miles down the road from where you live, and there'll be someone that already has that. So Tony Robbins always says, you know, there's a science to success. So if you don't have something in your life, there will be someone already that already has that. So succeeding in life is really, really quite easy, in the sense that, not that the work is easy, but finding the answer to how do I go from, okay, I don't know how to drive a car, how do I learn to drive a car? Those of you that drive know the answer, right? Those of you that don't probably know the answer. Learning to drive, you go and get an instructor, and if you're anything like me, third time lucky, you eventually pass your test, right? So succeeding is a science, and it's easy once you know someone that already has achieved the result you want. Fulfillment, like having positive emotions more often than not, having joy, feeling happy, feeling grateful. You see, that's an art form. I'm using Tony Robbins' playbook here for a second. That's an art. That's not as easy. That's not as straightforward. And here's the thing that I've learned about fulfillment, is that what will fulfill you will be completely different to the next person, will be completely different to your best friend, will be completely different to the your partner, completely different to your children, to your parents. Fulfillment is an art, meaning there is a freedom to it. The canvas of which we paint fulfillment on, what we paint will be completely different. To you, it's pink. To me, it's purple, right? Our fulfillment comes from our interpretation, our life perspective, our experiences, the people that we spend time with. One person gets fulfillment from snowboarding, another one gets fulfillment from walking in nature. One person gets fulfillment from doing yoga, another person gets fulfillment from sitting in church talking to God. Fulfillment is a completely different thing, and there is no science to that. So for me, this 21-day journey, the reason why it's called True, is it's about you finding out what the true answers are to life's important questions from within. You see, I've already said to you, it is my remit to ask people questions. And the reason why I became a coach is because in my life, I spent a very long time looking for answers, of which I found some good ones and some not so good ones. And it wasn't until I got into coaching where I was being asked what I thought and what was important to me and what did I want without somebody trying to influence me, that it helped to create the space for me to really think about what was important to me in my life. So over the next 21 days, I'm going to be asking you questions, things for you to consider, things for you to help you to reflect on what's important in your life. Day one, we're going to start tomorrow. Day one is going to be all about health. And what you're going to want to do is come with a fresh notepad and an open mind. And all we're going to do throughout these next 21 days, each episode is probably not going to be any longer than maybe 7 to 10 minutes. But what we're going to do is I'm going to throw up some questions onto the screen, and it's going to enable you to really just think about, really consciously, intentionally think about where you want to go in the year ahead in some really key areas. We're going to look at your health, your emotions, your finances. We're going to look at your relationship. We're going to look at your spiritual part of you. We're going to look at your character. We're going to look at your your ideal day. We're going to look at your life vision. We're going to look at your bucket list. We're going to spend 21 days looking at 21 key life areas. So by the end of this 21-day journey, you will have effectively have a list of ingredients, a recipe, if you will, to show you how to not just succeed this year, but more importantly, to bake the cake that is going to make you really fulfilled. To bake the cake that's going to make you, forgive me if you're now going, hang on, Miles, you said we're going to talk about health. And now you're talking about cakes. We're going to show you the recipe to make sure that this year is the best year that you've ever had. And that by the end of this 21 days, what's been holding you back, what you need to start doing, what you need to stop doing, so that you can truly make this year the best year of your life. There's going to be accountability each day, which means that you can, in between sessions, you can have accountability from me, I'm going to be your coach for the next 21 days, so that we can make sure that by the end of this 21 days, you are literally ready to take off into 2022 with a clear recipe, with a clear plan to make this year your best year ever. So that's it for now. All there is for me to say is, if you're watching this on my Facebook profile, go to my Facebook page. I think it's The Miles Grant, or go to my YouTube channel, The Miles Grant, and make sure you subscribe and hit there should be a notification bell somewhere to make sure that you're notified of when we're going to be live for the following shows. It's going to be every weekday through January at 6 p.m. UK time. So if you're in a different time zone, do whatever conversion you need to do to make sure you've got that clear. And yeah, make sure you've got a fresh notepad, fresh open mind, and you come prepared to do the work live on those broadcasts there and there. All right. There'll be chances throughout the weeks for Q&A and things like that as well. So if you've got questions about the areas, there'll be plenty of time for Q&A as well. So for now, all there is for me to say is I'm looking forward to this 21 days with you, starting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. UK time. Get ready. It's going to be an exciting 21 days. I'll see you tomorrow night.